Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Elevate Ministries. Elevate Ministries is an authentic, passionate, and innovative church in the heart of Orange County, California. They strive to make their services welcoming and encouraging by intentionally engaging you in all senses to stimulate a spiritual hunger. If you're looking for a great church that's on a mission to change the world one person at a time, I encourage you to check them out at www.elevateministries.com and on Instagram at Elevate Ministries. Secondly, this podcast is also brought to you by the good people at Hope and Promises. The director of Hope and Promises, my brother-in-law, Art Pena, started this nonprofit with a simple goal to provide food, water, and supplies to those in need through local outreaches and local food pantries. Internationally, Hope and Promises has completed humanitarian work in El Salvador, Mexico, and Honduras. Consider donating to Hope and Promises today by visiting their website at www.hopeandpromises.com and on Instagram at Hope and Promises. Let's do this.
Street gospel, light up the tempo. Sword swing, killer live from the ghetto. The hood messenger, let them know hell's close. Black burial, the devil in a black cloak.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast. I'm your host, Dave One, and this is episode number... Yo, Cam, what episode is this? 48. Episode number 48. First 48, man. Man, we're banging it out here. So if you caught our last episode, episode 47, it was with Chingo Bling, man. So that definitely a good one to check out. Props to Chingo Bling. He gave us tickets to his show at the Improv here, and we went and checked it out. Definitely was a good show, man. The dude probably was up on stage for like an hour. So definitely a good show, funny, sold out show. So props to Chingo Bling out there. If you haven't checked us out, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Street Gospel TV, and we're on any podcast platform. If you like a podcast, do us a favor. Send it to your friends, man. Just send it to them, have them check it out. I know everybody's not going to like every single podcast. It's just, it's impossible. You know, I like Joe Rogan. I don't like every podcast he does, but I like Joe Rogan. So if you hear a good one, you think somebody might like it, send it to them, and please subscribe. Wherever you watch us at, wherever you listen to us at, so hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it so much. But, you know, we got to get down to the business today, and I like to play a little banger, you know. So this dude right here, we met a couple months ago now, and solid dude. He knows the Lord. He's a great son, an athlete, trainer. This dude does it all. A motivation guy. I mean, he's just... We'll get into all of that, man. But I want to welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast, Mr. Kyle Curry.
I appreciate you, Big Dave. I appreciate you, man.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man? How's your day going?
My day's excellent. Okay, just FYI for everybody out there. Right now, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. First person I seen today in the morning was Mr. Curry here, man. He is he's my trainer right now, man. And we're the 4 a.m. club. So 12 hours ago, we were with each other, man.
Let them know, man. Every 4 a.m. we don't skip a beat.
Working out, man.
I think that 4 a.m. has a different personality on everybody, especially you going to work and taking care of the family much more. It's more on your body, but it pushes your mental a little tougher.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I think 4 a.m., there's some good and bad about that. It's good because you get in there early, you bang it out.
Done.
The hard part is getting there. I mean, it's getting there. Once you're there, you're like, well, let's go. Let's get it going. But I think sometimes when it's like, it's rough getting there and you got to like really suck it up for that little. I mean, my drive only there is like 8 minutes. So drive over there is like, man. But it something about getting, I mean, we talked about the other day. You get the hardest thing done first thing in the morning, and then the rest of your day's cake, right?
Rest of your day. Honestly, like, this is probably like what my 7th month waking up for. Well, I wake up at 2:45 to get down there by 3:34. But you know, you got to have that will drive, that leeway, something Like, you got to figure it out. Like, hey, if I'm going to continue to do this and be my own business, be successful, I got to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? And I think the best thing for me living up the hills, I can focus and just worry about the next day and the layouts for all my clients. So I feel like once I'm there and I get to walk around, do my little cardio, and then I'm like, okay, I'm here now. Like,
you ready to go to work?
I'm at my peace. I'm up. There's
Okay.
times I'm tired.
Okay, the craziest thing is this, man, and I think what, you know, because this is what let me tell the audience what happened. So I'm working out, doing my thing, you know what I mean, trying to stay fit, go to the gym every day, right? We so my daughter Cash, she pays for me to go with Kyle. She's been training with Kyle for a little while, and so she goes, "Hey, I'm gonna hook you up, pay for your trainer, and go to him." I said, "Okay." So I go to Kyle. So this is the thing. I'll be honest with you. You are well. The initial thing is you were trying to sell me something. So when somebody's trying to sell you something, you're kind of thinking like, is this really them, or are they trying to sell me something? So very motivated, very hyped, very inspiring, encouraging, right? So we get that one first workout. I said, yeah, he was cool, man. Seemed like a good dude. But what I noticed is that as time went on, we kept working out. You're the same dude every time we work out. Motivated. I show up at 4 a.m. You're at the door clapping like, let's go. And I'm like, where does that come from, man?
Honestly, like, from me just stepping out of that comfort zone back in the day of not being motivated, just when I had everything, it's more of a, you know what, you can lose it in the blink of an eye. You know
what do you mean, like, have everything? Like,
I mean, you can go to the NFL, NBA, MLB, whatever you want to do. You can have everything, blink of an eye, a medical issue, a car accident, family death, a trauma, wife or girlfriend situation can happen to where now you're in a hole to where you're at the bottom of point of your life. And I'm just like, look, my first thing when I get up is, you know, I got to give it to God. You know, and the biggest blessing that a lot of people forget and that's underrated is when you leave your house. Because you're not promised to coming back home. You're not promised what's going to happen that first 5 minutes as soon as you leave, because you know every accident is a mile down the street.
Right.
So when I make it to the gym, it's like I made it. I'm here. This is my second home. You know what I'm saying? I'm up.
That's crazy, man, because it is a good thought. I think we take advantage of life, or we take it for granted, I should say, not advantage. We take it for granted waking up every day and like, oh, I'm alive. I'm here. Let's make the most of this day. And I think when I train with you, kind of influenced me a lot was, you know, is just like, hey, we're going to make the most of today.
Yes,
like,
sir.
And I think even, I thought I knew how to work out. I thought I knew how to motivate myself, but I really didn't. There's like another level.
It's an intense level. That 12 to 15 range is something kind of different.
When you told me that, so we're working out one day and I'm like, okay, 3 sets, 10? You're like, no. We're going like 12, 15, and then it's 4 sets. And I'm like, okay, 4 sets? So you're right, because you can hit 10, I mean, you know, pretty easily, right? I mean, but then we're going 12, 15, and then you're like, come on, we can do it. And then you're going up in weight sometimes, and you're like, let's go.
That's when your mental takes place. Honestly, you got to go to that place that you didn't know you can go. You know, and think about all the whys and the doubts and everything that you had and just put it into that weight. That's your stress reliever. That's your meditation time. That's like your therapy. My biggest thing is like when I get my clients there, it's like people come in, I'm not confident, or I can't do this, and I don't have the will to have this. You can do whatever you want in the world. There's 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
Like, if you're going to spend 6 hours procrastinating and holding something against you that you know you can do, but you never took that leap of faith or that step, you know, I can be like, hey, without me getting all these certifications and researching and being most knowledgeable as I am as a trainer, you know, I want more. You know, hey, I want to continue to help somebody. But now let's look at medical issues, thyroids, kidney stones. Like, okay, I may not have the answer, but I can look it up or make a couple of texts or phone calls to the people in that industry, that doctor or medical field, you know. So it's just, you know, you got to have that will drive. Some people they're over it. You know?
I think, I think that's the biggest thing is the mind battle, getting there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think I overcome that because I'm like, okay, I got to get up anyways. Let's get up, let's get the workout in, get there. You definitely are motivating me. You definitely are pushing me. And I was like, okay, the last thing is just saying, hey, I got this day. This day is today. I'm going to put in the work. I'm just going to go for it. And then you get out of there, you feel like $1 million. You might feel exhausted, like when we worked out the other day, my back was hurting. But, I felt good. I felt like, okay, well, I paid the price today and reaping the rewards tomorrow.
That's like going back to that back day with me and Justin. I just know like our past, traumas, like our boys. Like you probably have your boy, like you could talk to him. Y'all can go on a hike or a bike ride or whatever, and you just like, you don't talk, but it's there. But then once you sit down, you talk about everything, lay everything out, your boy's going to be like, hey, that's not for you. You should go more this route, or you should do something a little bit differently. Like some people get comfortable with the job, or that career, or just stuck in school. There's nothing wrong with those things, nothing wrong. But
right.
That's what we're sown in. That's what we're grown in. Our parents are putting that pressure on us. You can be anything you want in this world, but a lot of times, you as a child, you're like, all I know is go to school, get these grades. This is what my dad and mom want me to get. I mean, that's what you're putting the pressure on that person, that child. Now that child is like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, if I get a C plus, my dad gonna be tripping. My
right.
mom gonna give me a spanking. But just knowing you giving your all and you don't understand, we can get a little bit more help. Don't put that pressure on somebody if you don't want to put that pressure on yourself.
Wow. That's true. I mean, I can't motivate Cam or Cash with going to the gym if I ain't going to the gym. And I'm hoping that, hey, they see me waking up early, I'm going to the gym, they're motivated to go to the gym. Or maybe I motivate one of my friends, maybe he's a little overweight, whatever it may be. I'm like, okay, I'm going to push, we laugh, they bag on me here because they said you think you look good. And I said, well, that's the first thing. You want to feel good and look good. I mean, that's why you go to the gym. I'm not trying to flex, or anything like that. But I'm saying those are the first things why you need to be motivated. I want to be 48 years old. I want to be in good health, yes, right? Sir. And then I want to look good, of course. I'm going to look good for my age. There's nothing wrong with that. But then I want to be a little motivational to dudes that maybe they're not working out, or maybe they need to work out, or whatever. And like, hey, man, you could do it too. I did it. You do it. Just get in the gym.
Yes, sir. And I think, like, even this morning, having, like, the bigger guys there, like Justin and E.T., and, those are my boys, and they're coming in, and I see you like, oh, shit, And then I see you look at Frank, and I'm like, you good? He's like.
You know what it was? All right, so me and Frank's a young dad. I go over there, and I'm like, okay, so let's work out. And then your boys come in, and they're some big dudes, man. So they come in, and then I'm like, and Frank looks at me, and he's like, yeah, man, we got a starting five now, and then so I was like, there's some big dudes, man. So I was like, all right, well, let's go. You know what I mean? Just like the other day, it was you and Justin. I couldn't work out Monday morning, so I went in the afternoon. You're like, come in. And I'm like, I already knew once I seen Justin there, because Justin in shape, man. So, and you were like, you're going to work out with us today. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what this is about. So another level for sure. Definitely. And just a level of pushing, which I think that's good because you need somebody. I mean, the old adage, iron sharpens iron. You need somebody to push you a little bit.
You need somebody that's going to push you and also make sure you elevate your game to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could work out with anybody but not get that push. You could be over that workout within 30 minutes or to maybe 10. But when him and I work out, we always go for like an hour 30, 2 hours. I'm like, hey, man, we getting kind of overboard. Like, I got a client. You got to go back home. Like, there's times like we got to like, oh, yeah, we're almost done. This is the last one. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to max it out just as heavy as you can. But it's much more about that. It's just like the past things we've been through is like we had built up, and that's why we use those weights,
Yeah.
We could be out there doing, the violence, the trouble, the gang, the tagging, all of that. But it's more about changing the young community.
Right.
Helping them grow. I mean, I'm 27, he's 27, but at the point of 27-year-old's life, you probably think I'm a little bit older just the way I carry myself. in the gym, I'm goofy. I dance, I smile, crack jokes, you know. But then there's also that time, like, I got to have that serious talk. Like, hey, man, you slacking today.
Right.
Like, I need you to know, like, you need to start pushing. Like, is everything okay? How are you feeling? Like,
Right.
there's always, every morning, how are you feeling this morning?
I remember rolling in there one day, and we won't get into it, but I was having a bad week. And you were like, "You good?" I was like, "I'm good. Let's just go to work." And we talked about this. We talked about how a lot of people don't have an outlet, a physical, especially men, right? A physical outlet where you can go, and there's something about getting in the gym and working that problem out, at least physically, right? Like, a lot of people don't realize that, like, your mind and your things you're going through, if you can work them out physically. I tell men this all the time, like, join a gym, lift weights, do jiu-jitsu, do a little bit of boxing, go hit the bag, do something, because there's something about getting that out, right?
That's like more of that stress reliever, what you need it as a man. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
You can do a couple of push-ups, sit-ups, find some wood, do some pull-ups, a couple burpees. You have to get it out. It's because we have too much built-up anger as a man. Like, as a man, it's not even has to do with the past or the present. It could be deeper than that. It could just be way deeper. It could be from like the 3rd grade when Billy was picking on you, and you like, if I see Billy now, I hope. But you just hold on to things. Like, everybody says like a woman holds on to things. It's realistically true, but a man holds on to a lot longer.
Right.
A hurt man is gonna hold on to and protect himself and not give that time of day.
Right.
And I think everybody deserves a time of day or opportunity or a chance. That's like when we get into a conversation, like some women are like, all men are the same. I'm like, not all. You just, there's types that you like.
Yeah.
You can't say all, because I'm not the same as all men.
Right.
And the things I would tell you, I'm just straightforward. Like, you go for more of a materialistic set of looking at somebody's going to push you, make sure you're getting through school and doing what you got to do. Every woman needs a strong man. Every strong man needs a strong woman. And if you don't have that, then you won't have a successful marriage or a relationship, especially if you can't have that honest person.
Oh, look at this guy talking. He's dropping knowledge.
Hey, man.
I think that's the thing. A thing that I liked about you. We're a whole generation apart, right? I mean, you're Ash's age, my daughter's age, right? So I was like, but the things that you talk about, the things that you motivate me. Like, I'm always willing to learn from anybody.
Yes, sir.
And I think one of the main things was, like, I told you I didn't know how to work out. I thought I did. It was all wrong. Technique wise, right? Technique wise, how to push myself. I think that they were just, it was bad. It wasn't good. And I think when I went to you, I think it was something like, I was like open to say, like, this young dude, like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, sir.
And with that said, what makes a good trainer, man? I'm not telling you to put anybody on blast here.
I'm not putting nobody.
But who and what makes a good trainer? Because there is a difference, right?
There's a difference. Just knowing the right forms and techniques. The more videos you watch, or I got certified through NASM and ISSSA, and I got like my first aid kit certification. I have those. Like, those are cool to have.
So you're not like one of these, like, I'm a trainer and you just started a gram and you just like, I'm gonna make myself. You're a legit trainer.
I'm just like a legit trainer.
Okay.
Like, I don't put all that out there, but that's just something for me to have. Like,
right.
Those are my accomplishments. It's cool to like talk about. Like, let's say if you passed out, I just know, like, okay, we're gonna elevate the feet, hold the back of the neck until the blood starts flowing back properly. Then you're gonna wake back up. But it's just little things like that. I always pick brains, and what separates a trainer is the knowledge. Just knowing the right form, the right technique, and by you knowing how to guide somebody, and you got to know age difference.
Right.
Flexibility, you could work that. Hip mobility, you could work that, but age difference, you can't work that. So, like, there's somebody that could be 37 compared to me 27. I can squat ass to grass. I know you got to go 90 degrees. That's it.
Yeah, man.
Because you go to ass to grass, we go Kaiser Permanente.
I ain't getting back up, man. I was like, we can't do that.
Yeah. So.
But the good thing was that we modified it.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that was the thing that I liked. There was certain things, like, I was like, hey, Kyle, I don't think I can do that. And you were like, no, you can. Let me show you how we're going to do. Yes, and it was modifying it. And at the gym, if I tried it, I'll hurt myself by myself.
And that's the thing a lot of people do is they want to go to that squat, that deadlift, but it takes time for you to actually get into that perfect squat or that perfect deadlift. There's always a bunch of these power lifters. They already have the form and technique. Now they're just adding little weight. You never see a power lifter grab that 45 and that keep going with more 45s unless they already have that form and technique. But there's some people that will just grab it, and you'll see bad things, bad outcomes that happen. Hey, you ask any power lifter, hey, man, how do I do this on this deadlift? He's going to tell you, like, hey, man, you're using too much back. You need to start driving from the hips. It's just a hinge. It's a hip mobility. You got to strengthen your hips. You have to stretch.
Right.
You have to warm up. You have to do all those things properly. Like when you come in, hey, how you doing, man? Good. Oh, man, let's go. And just warm up for 5 minutes, get rolled out and let's go.
Yeah.
Even by you rolling out, it's getting you looser, getting your muscles a little bit looser for you not to pull nothing. So our muscles are actually like bands. Like if you get a rubber band and you just snap it right off and you're trying to stretch as far as you can, it's going to snap. But if you just warm up and you got that, and you going like this to this rubber band, at the end of the day, you're not going to snap that rubber band. So
I agree, man, because there was times when I was in there and I was thinking like, man, I can't do this. And there were certain things that you, in the technique wise, was like, you're doing it wrong. And I think most people at regular gyms, your Fitness 19 shoes and all this other stuff, right, are pretty much either wasting their time or they're having the wrong technique, right?
I just feel like a lot of people go in there to socialize.
Yeah.
I mean, you go into a private gym, for me, I'm working from self-made to 6 Sense, you see the vibes and you see the different mindsets people have, and everybody's on the same mission you're on. Like a lot of people, their biggest problem is the insecurity of walking into a gym.
That's big, right?
That's big.
That was, when I started working out a little bit and then I went to the gym and I just was like, man, I don't, it was just uncomfortable. But I think once I got past that, then it was like, yeah, I'm here to work just like everybody else. I think because you could see the biggest dude. I think we were in the gym the other day and there was that monster over there, bro. Yeah. Hey, that dude was like 6'4" and like 6'4" wide. And it was only at the shoulders because his waist was like that small.
His waist.
And I was like, yo, I was just doing my thing. I wasn't even trying to look at that dude. I was just like, but that could be intimidating for a new person going in the gym.
It could, and that's when you just lose hope. You lose that faith.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
you walk into Choose Fitness and you see that dude and you just signing up. You like, can I cancel this pass?
Yeah.
Like, can I get that $192 back plus my $10? Like, I don't want to do it no more.
Right.
You gotta. I tell everybody the best thing you could invest in is a trainer. A trainer has a trainer, and the trainer's trainer has a trainer. Everybody knows and has a game from the knowledge. I mean, I didn't learn everything overnight. It took me time working out with different trainers or even having a coach and a trainer and, partnering up with like Amanda and Justin, and we pick each other's brain and we figure it out. And that's like the way to go. Nobody's going to be perfect. I'm not going to have all the answers, but maybe Amanda, Justin will. They're not going to have the answers. Maybe I'll have it. And we always share. It's just like a community. Like if you're a trainer, you can't share and you like, oh, you saw my workout, then you shouldn't be in the industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes with everything you do in life. Like if you say, hey, Kyle, man, I'm going to help you out today. I appreciate it. And then later down the road, I help you out. That's just showing the love,
right,
the respect. And if you like, Kyle, I'm going to help you, I'm like, for what? And you like, cuz, man, like I see you struggling. I mean, I don't need no help. I got this. Like I don't need you to help me. That's like when the ego play kicks in.
Yeah, that's a bad life, model to follow. Or you don't need help. I got it. I'll figure it out on my own. I never seen you as that guy. I seen you like a guy trying to learn from everybody, and I could take this from over here, put this together, and build my own thing and put it all together. I think that's huge.
I mean, it took me a while to actually get there, and especially me being 27, just knowing I can't work for nobody, man. As much as I could try, I could do it, I could listen to you, and I'll be the hardest worker you have. But then there'll be a point in time like, hey, should we do this a little bit differently? Like, instead of like getting here at 6, have everybody get here.
Sound like Cam, man. Cam is like, man, this is done wrong. Man, I can do it this way. We should do it this way. He's always getting frustrated coming home from work.
And it's tough. And I've been in his position to where I worked in a restaurant. I worked at Fleming Steakhouse, and it's just the manager. I'll be like, hey, man, like, how about we just have the food runners help the busters out and make everybody's day, like, like nobody's stressing or running around with their heads cut off, and we could all be good. And he's like, do your job. I'm like,
I think that attitude is like a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want to be the dude that, all right, I don't care. This is fine. I'm not worried about it. We'll leave it this way. We'll do it the dumb way. No problem. I'm not that guy either, man. It'll bug me. Like, there's a better way to do this. Can we do it this way? No, we can't. This is the way we're going to do it. And you're just, sometimes I wish I was the dude that just said, whatever.
Man, I wish I was that dude too. But, there's like, as a hard worker, and you're in the same position. When you work hard and you want to get this done as easy as possible, you're going to just knock it out.
Yeah.
You might tell somebody one time, like, hey, man, you might want to go bust that table off. Oh, yeah, I'll get to it. Man, give me a tray because you take it too long. While you waiting, I got to get this done.
Right.
Like, I don't want these people waiting, especially going in the restaurant industry where Cam's at. He just want to get it done, get in and get out and go home.
Yep.
That's it. But then you got those co-workers that are lazy and, I'm cool, I'm chilling, I get paid just to chill. So it's a lot on your plate.
Do you think that attitude helped you in the training world and getting to where you are now?
Restaurant industry?
Yeah, I mean, no, the attitude of I'm going to get this done. There's a way to get this done better, and taking that kind of attitude and using that to become a trainer.
I say definitely. Definitely. That really helped me a lot just because it's a problem solving attitude. And
right.
Now, like, it's like if you're struggling as a trainer, you need more clients. At the end of the day, you got to work with people. Every great trainer has to work with somebody, and have to learn the game. And even when you have mentors and people that are pushing you, you still got to work with them because they're working with you. There's some tough people out there.
Right.
People are not going to crack or, I need my chips at the front of the table. And you got to work with people. It's just life. Not everybody's going to have everything up front. If everybody could live like Floyd Mayweather, the world would be perfect. Everybody would have, $1.82 billion to sit on. And
something like that.
Yeah, and open up a bunch of businesses and go that route, but we're not. We're humans. We're not superheroes. We got to take it just one day, one time at a time.
I liked when we talked, and I think this was another big thing that you said. You said, "What is your goal, Dave? Like, where do you want to be?" And without putting my I put a weight out there, and then I told you that I wanted to be lean. I wanted to be like lean muscle, and you were like, "Okay, I got that." I mean, I think people go to the gym and don't have a goal or don't have no model of what they want to be like, right? So what are you doing? Like we said a little while ago, you're just wasting your time if you don't say, what's your goal? What do you want to do?
A lot of people just, like, if you don't have a goal, you're really not going to accomplish nothing. Even if you don't have goals within going into life. Like, okay, I got a plan to go to high school and graduate and maybe just get a job. Like, if you don't have that written down to where you visually see it, you're not going to push. Like, that's why I asked you, like, what is your goal? And you're like, I just want to be lean. I don't want to get too heavy or too bulky. I got you, man. Like, you want to have that lean cut. So you want to be able to be flexible, bend, jump, still run, but push some weight.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the mindset of a football player. Like, even playing football, you got to have the bulk season where you're doing less sprints, less work. Then you got your cut season. You're going hard sprints, mile runs, 20-minute cool downs, pushing heavy weight, but you're at the best shape of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people don't have that mentality of, I need to get it done, or I don't have that time, or it's hard to do this. It's not hard. So I ask you, like, what's your goal? And I always ask people, even on my new clients, what's your goal inside the gym and outside?
Right.
And I want you to write your outside and you keep that, and I want you to write your inside and give it to me. So I know what we can work on. But every day on that outside paperwork, give me one thing we could talk about to fix.
That's dope.
So it's always, younger people, my generation, confidence, lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Because they got bullied or they got called a certain name or somebody looked at them funny, or just they hold on. You can't let go. You got to let it go. And when you hold on, you stress, you're going to put yourself in the hospital.
I think this generation is it's kind of messed up. I think the social media stuff gets people thinking they should be living this way when they probably do have a good life as it is, right? I mean, you already have enough insecurity in your life, especially in the gym, right? Like I said, you go to the gym, sometimes you might be feeling good. You see somebody and you're like, dang, Like I saw some old dude the other day, probably older than me, and he was in shape. And I looked at him, I was like, and for a second you think, well, I suck, you know what I mean? And then you have to clear that out of your mind and be like, no, he's a dude probably worked for it, probably been lifting for a long time, you know what I mean? He's probably been dedicated. I'll get there.
That's the thing too. A lot of people get to the gym and just get intimidated, and just like you, I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. They don't know what to do, and now they're looking around like, dang, I want abs like this guy, but shoulders like him. Or girls get in there like, I want legs like her, and I want to look like that. But that person went to that dark place. Either you're giving somebody 6 months to work on themselves, and they're pushing themselves as hard as they can, and the only focus is working gym. They're gonna get those results no matter what they do. And then they look in the mirror 6 months, they're like, oh, I look like that? Or, oh, you look good, man. Like, man, you got the shoulders now, you got the arms. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just working on myself. And there's times where you see people, and you know just from a treadmill or a Stairmaster, you could look at somebody, and they'll do exactly this. And they'll walk, and they'll have this zone, and they'll be in the zone, and then it just clicks like, oh, they're going through something. Like, let them be. Like this, when you see those kind of people, you don't want to talk to them at all. Like, don't even bump into them. Don't say, oh, my bad. Like, you want to kind of avoid those kind of people. And it's kind of tough because you want to get to know that person, but you just know they're going through something. And due to time, you can get to know that person, but that gym, that session that they're in the zone, that's their therapy moment.
Right. You got to let them be.
You got to let them be.
I've been there. It's one of those things where you got to go. There's been times Melissa tells me, go to the gym. Go to the gym. Don't come back and be more happy. Just go. Because right now you in some funk right now.
See.
Go to the gym, get it in, and then I come back and I'm like, sorry, I'm feeling better now. Feel good.
After the leg days.
The leg day. So, bro, let's. All right. So the leg day in the gym is like, it's a bad thing, man. Well, it is a bad thing because I'll tell you why. And you know it's a bad thing because you can see a dude that is big shoulders, big arms, looking good, and the dude, what? The dude has skinny legs.
Yeah,
right.
I see that a lot.
So it's a lot, right? There is a reason why, because leg day sucks. Listen,
can't wear those
first leg day with Kyle. Okay, we get in there. He's over here telling me, I'm thinking like, man, that was one thing. So what's the one with the step? Just the lunges, right? So he goes, we're gonna do some lunges today, and I'm like, man, my knee, it's like jacked up. Once again, I do one lunge, my technique was all wrong. My whole body's over my front knee.
All the weight's on the knee.
Right? And so all the weight's on the knee. So when you told me to change it, it didn't hurt no more. And I'm like, okay. But then it's like 4 up, 4 back. And I'm like, 4 up, 4 back. And then there's some leg curls in there and leg extensions. And I'm like, yo, and we're mixing them all 3 together. So it's boom, boom, boom. And that's one set. And then you could take a little minute rest. And I'm like, this is crazy, man. So next day, I'm like, I feel pretty good. My legs are a little sore, but I went to church on Sunday, and I barely could sit down, man. And I was doing security at church that day, and I'm like, there's no way I'm stopping anybody today, because my legs were beat, bro. But leg day, people don't like leg day, do leg day, dread leg day. And there's a reason, right?
I mean, leg day for men is it's very good, beneficial too. It just boosts up your testosterone, give you natural testosterone, but your upper body's gonna look extra pumped. You're like, dang, I'm doing legs with my chest and shoulders and the vascularity's popping right now. And then you like, but my legs is hurting.
It sucked, man.
But it works both ways, because you could do chest and you like, dang, my quads and hamstrings and calves are looking good. Like, these are wow.
Feeling good.
It's just, you're gonna feel good up and down. You don't want to just be just up, or you just don't want to be just down. Because I know men that have very big legs and the smallest upper body. I'm like, would you play soccer? There's nothing wrong with soccer players, but they got the big legs, the quads, and everything.
Unproportioned bodies.
But so they built from the ground up.
Right.
Like the upside down pizza. So And then you got the Dorito chip guys, like the big upper body and down low is SpongeBob, So it's important.
I think once, I a friend of mine was telling me, he's like, legs for men is the biggest thing, especially as you get older. And I realized that because I have a grandfather right now. My mother takes care of him, and he was active, but his legs have went out, and for a man, that's like the worst thing that can happen, right? You ain't mobile, you can't do nothing.
You can't run, jump.
And so when my buddy told me that, he's like, the legs is the main thing, bro, as you get older, because that's your foundation. That's what you stand on.
And you can walk on your legs every day. That's an exercise. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, I can hit it once. Like every man says, I'm going to hit legs maybe once or twice and I'll be good. You can hit legs 3 times a week, 4 times a week, as long as you're doing the right recovery. If you're breaking it down, like days we do quads or we do hamstrings and glutes or quads and glutes or just full volume. Like there's different things you could do for the legs just to make them grow. So now that you're making your legs grow, you're like, dang, there's different variations and different reps. Like you don't have to always do high reps. Like some days I'm like, just 10. You like 10? Yeah,
like,
just 10.
You all right? You all right today? 10? That's it?
Are you tired or something? I'm like, yeah, just 10. Like you already died the whole week.
Hey,
like,
Frank is like, 10, cool.
Hey, Frank loves that 10. I'm like, Frank, we only got 10.
Shout out to Frank, man.
Man, Frank, hey, I love you, dog, man. You the funniest dude I got. But after Dave. But I'd say 10 reps, and people are like, 10? Like for leg press, are you okay? Are you tired? Are you sleeping? I'm like, no, just 10 reps. Like as a trainer, you have to know when people are taking a beating.
Right.
Like, Monday's a heavy hitter. You got to start every Monday out right. You have to treat your Mondays like a Friday.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like, I don't care. Like, some people go to Sunday like, Monday. Like, how many people say that? And, I used to say it all the time.
Yep.
But then, I started watching the Tony Robinsons and Eric Thomas, like the motivate. You have to treat it every day as a Friday.
Right.
Every day. Like, that's why I wake up with the passion and excitement and just knowing, like, this is like my second chance at life because I had a heart attack at 23.
Okay, get into that, man.
So it was, let me see.
This is the story I don't know fully about, but I heard
man.
Rumors in the gym said that you had a heart attack when you were younger.
I had a heart attack at 23, and it just made me realize a lot more about life. But I remember.
But why? Why did you have? Did they find out why?
Pre-workouts, stressing, just worrying about things I don't need to worry about. Like, let's say a friend needed money and I didn't have it. I was stressed about trying to get that person money, or family deaths, or just stressing about school and stressing about missing work. Just wasn't there for myself.
So
mentally.
just from stress?
Just from stress. Like, stress will put you in the hospital. That's what I always tell people. And people always ask me, like, you just be stress-free? I'm like.
Because most people think that it's just bad food.
Yeah.
Like, especially at my age. Like, people have heart attacks and have to have angiograms and all that stuff, put a stent in, all that stuff because they've eaten horrible their whole life. But you've been out your whole life. 23, you have a heart attack from the stresses of life.
From the stress of life. And
which is crazy to me because when I go to the gym, you seem like a guy that don't worry about stuff.
Honestly, like, my mindset now is you got to give it to God and just keep going about your day. You can't worry about too much. You start worrying about too much, you start worrying about that bill, that mortgage, that payment, how to feed or how to go. Just figure out how to get something done and just go. Don't try to always plan ahead. Just plan what's in front of you for that next second or minute. And this is my biggest realization is I had a lot of people, and I still have a lot of people that reach out to me and, I want to talk to you, or I want to hang out with you, or let's do this, bro, let's do that. And I just don't respond because when I was in that hospital bed and I laid there, there's only 5 people at my side. Okay, actually 6 or 7, but when I was there, I know it was Justin, Andrew, CJ, EJ, my mom, and CJ's family, Justin's family, my dad. And just seeing that made me realize you don't need social media. You don't need the environment that you had or once had. Only thing you need is the people that are on your team and that's in your corner. That's it.
That's crazy because you're right about that. If anybody can narrow it down, even for us, right? There's probably only a handful of people that if they went to the hospital, you would be right there.
Oh yeah,
Same thing with me. And I'm not saying that we don't care about people or we don't love people, but there's something about when you have a team in your corner and you realize, like, I'm worried about 100 people, when in reality I forget about the 6 or 7 that would be there for me at a time of need, and I neglect them because I'm trying to satisfy 100 other people.
Like we're honestly like just one human being, one person, but we're trying to feed a village and we're trying to feed that kingdom. But instead of just worrying about that village, we're trying to worry about the outside of the village too. We're trying to worry about the peasants, the outsiders, and much more of the enemies. And you don't even need to worry about that. Just worry about what's in that village. Just take care of what's in that village, because that village is going to take care of you at the end of the day. Like, even I'm laying there and my mom comes in, and I remember this like yesterday, and I'm laying there, she walks in, I just start crying. I break down, and it takes a lot for me to cry because my mom's a tough woman. She don't like crying. Like, that wasn't something that was prohibited for me. Like, she doesn't want that. Even playing football and basketball and even getting whoopings as a kid, you better not cry. I'm not crying. The tear you hold, you fighting back the tears now. So she's a strong woman. But when she came through that hospital door and she just grabbed my hand, I just told her, like, I'm sorry. She's like, why are you sorry? I'm like, I'm not supposed to go before you. And she's like, why do you keep saying that? I'm like, I just feel like every time the doctors run the blood, it's your kidney levels are low, or your oxygen intake wasn't good, or now you're eating too much this, or the process of this, and too much sodium, and it's always bad news in and out the doctors. And this is like, you're waking up out of the heart attack. You don't even know what's really going on, and you're just so quiet, and you just start crying, but you want to talk to people, and you're just there. You're just looking, and you just realize, like, I got to just be a straightforward person. I got to turn into this straightforward person. Like, forget lying, forget beating around the bush. And all my boys will tell you, there's times like where I'm straightforward and they be like, hey, chill out. Hey, you got to reword things. I'm like, I'm being respectful. They're like, nah, man, you got to reword things because you came off kind of strong. Like, you came off like a Nipsey Hussle verse compared to like a Kanye and a Jay-Z, And I'm like, what? Well, he asked me a question. I just told him that, no, Kyle, like, this generation of things, people take things to heart. I'm like, well, I only got one heart now, so. But laying in that hospital bed, so going back to that.
The hospital bed, I mean, although your life was saved, you obviously came through it, but it did hinder another part of your life that was a huge part of your life, right? Which was sports. You were a top-notch athlete. I mean, I seen the football stuff, but then you told me you're a hooper too, so I haven't seen the hooping tapes.
I'm not no hooper. I can just shoot. You tell me to drive, I'm going to pass the ball, right? Because they always say, you foul, man, when you drive in. Because I drive in like a running back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you told me you hoop. Yeah, I hoop. Da, da, da. And I was like, okay. But the football thing was your dream.
That was my dream. That was my hope. That was like, it was there for me, honestly. Like the offers and me just seeing like all of my boys get offered and I'm getting offered. And we're all on the same team, passing leagues in the summertime in Pop Warner. And I play for Pomona Steelers, Coach Snoop, shout out to Coach Snoop. But he made me the young man to where he told me his exact words. If you're scared to play football and scared to take a little contact, you're going to be fearing a lot of things in life. And that's when I came up with the name Run That. So Run That to me, like Run That Curry, everybody's like, why's your name Run That? And I've always said it when I was little and still now, like, hey, we're going to do Oklahoma. We're doing hitting drills, Run That. Now let's refer this to life. Hey, man, we're going to get down. You got to pay $11,000 for your tax return or for your taxes. Run That, I got it. That's just a stress-free term. Like, it's stepping up to the challenge. Even like presentations or school or work, whatever it was, it's like I'm not backing down. And that's been my term ever since. So, like, I don't say that as much because I'm getting older, but there's times, like, I'll say, like, in the gym, like, if we're working out, like, on Monday, Justin was like, 15 reps. I was like, for sure, run it.
Run it.
And he's like, for real? I was like, run that, bro. Let's go. Like, just get it over with. And that's just been my thing. But going back to the hospital thing, I feel like my mom, when I started crying, she was just like, you don't need to cry. And I was like, why? She's like, God hasn't taken you out my sight. And I was like, that's when I started crying even more. And I was like, I can't leave before you. And she's like, you're not. Trust me, you're not. She was like, something in your life is going to open up bigger than what it was. And I didn't know what it was. Like, I wanted to become an engineer, firefighter, a cop. You know, I wanted to take care of my mom. But honestly, like being my own business and now having a lot more and understanding how to be an entrepreneur and still growing and being successful, it's just taking off faster than what it is, to where she's like, hey, let's do this. I'm like, let's do it. Like,
Nice.
I got you. Like,
Nice.
There's times like on Saturdays, I'll take her to go get her nails done or her toes, or I send her to go get her lashes done. You know, like, let's do it. You know, because that's how she was for me as a child. Like, Mom, I want to play basketball. Okay. But she worked those 3 jobs and still made it to every practicing game.
It's crazy, man.
You know.
So, do you think that what at the time could have been like the most devastating thing to you? Because I'm sure there was some things that I'm sure you had a rough time accepting that, but in the end, it probably was like the best thing.
It was tough, honestly. Like, just having that football dream and that hope, and
because that was for years, right? I mean,
that's
from your little kid.
You know, when you're a kid and, you know, you're a well-known kid, like I was ranked state of California number 27, state of California, you know, in Daily Bulletin, on the news, signing day, everything.
You're a kicker, right?
Yeah, long snapper. Longest yard, I was Brucey. But, you know, just.
What did you play?
I played receiver.
Receiver, right?
Yeah,
okay.
So it's just my junior year. You know, I didn't really do as good compared to my senior year. Like, those 2 stats are 2 different stats. Like, I probably had like 49 catches, 600 yards, and like 2 touchdowns my junior year. Going into my senior year.
Off the radar a little bit.
They're like, Kyle, nah, forget him. He's an Ontario kid. He could barely play. He could barely spell his name on a paper, and he goes to college and he smells down there. So that's why he sucks. And I was like, man, but going to 7-on-7s and meeting new kids and pushing myself even harder, and just noticing, like, as a senior, like, my mom is struggling. Like, just, she had her cool, calm, collective, like, okay, like, hey, we're going to work, and when I come back, I'm going to take you to practice. Like, everything was cool, but she would never tell me she was struggling. I never knew she struggled. She would never show me she cried or she was hurt or she was bothered.
Man.
She was just one emotion. It was always happy. And she still is the same way. But there's always that one thing, I'm like, something's off. Mom, you okay? And she's like, I'm good. Are you okay? Did you eat? Because I made a bunch of stuff on the stove that I didn't see you touch. I'm like, oh, yeah, let me go eat real quick. You know, once mom cooks, you got to eat.
Oh, yeah.
No hands in for butts. So she had that just one direction of here. But, you know, actually getting a little older and seeing, like, what stress felt like and seeing it now, I'm like, are you okay? Mom, I'm your baby, but I need you to talk to me. Like, Kyle, I'm stressing. I'm like, okay. Well, I got you. You know, I'm going to make it to the league. And that was the hope, the dream. You know, so I went from my junior to my senior, and I just shot out the roof. I went from 49 catches to 129 catches. You know,
that's a huge jump.
That's
a huge jump.
That's a jump that Odell couldn't even make.
No,
but he made it though. I give it to him.
Who was that? Who was at your door at that time? Colleges.
Man, I had dinners
not to bring up old stuff.
I had dinners with Chip Kelly from Oregon, UCLA, Joe Lorick from ASU, Nick Saban, a bunch of colleges. So you had
State. the biggest colleges were coming knocking.
RCC, junior colleges, Azusa Pacific, Western New Mexico, Eastern, just a bunch of schools, man. And always having somebody at the house. My mom always made me talk to them. There was no sugarcoating. She wasn't speaking, but the thing she always made sure was, am I going to be taken care of if I get hurt? What is my education? Can I major in this? What is the benefits for me going to the school? And are you going to cover me if I got into trouble, let's say?
Right.
And, as an athlete, telling you guys the inside now, you sign waivers once you get past a certain ranking in whatever state you're in or the NCAA to where you can't post as much, watch what you say, name brand stuff, all that inside stuff. So now that you know that game, it's like some athletes don't post. And you're like, Odell only posts his girlfriend. Why? Because that's all he could post. Or, man, Jalen Ramsey, he only talk about, like, just politics. Why? Or just getting into little things, and they can't really nay and go off the top, and because that's lawsuits waiting to happen.
That's crazy.
Like, even when you get on Twitter and you're like, I'm over it, you're going to have every Bleacher Report, ESPN, investigator, agent, your coaches, water boy. Everybody's going to know off of that 38-second post. And your phone will go off. Because I remember I had some beef in high school on Twitter. And there was another guy that was really highly ranked. We went to the Oregon camp. It was like a B2G camp. Well, it was actually in L.A. And his name was Eric. And he was just like, oh, I'm the best receiver in the state of California.
Uh-oh.
And he went to Summit High School. So one of my boys that left Summit came to Colony. He was like, nah, I feel like Kyle's the best. And he's humble. He was like, you're good. Like, you're fast, but you're not all that. And then they added me into that message. And, you know, on Twitter, the Twitter feed can get long and people are reading it. So he was like, I'm the best one in the state of California. There ain't no receiver better than me. He was like, my boy Kyle can run, catch, block, and he's fast. He could jump. He's like, he ain't better than me. Because he had the height. Yeah, I was like, what, 5'9", 5'10", but I'm jumping out the roof. But he was 6'3". So the height difference was
huge.
He was huge, but I was like, you're not better than me. At the end of the day, I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how fast you were. You're not better than me. I don't know, like, who put that in your head, but we can go one-on-one. You could try to play DB because I could play DB. I could play corner or safety or backer. It doesn't matter. You're not going to be better than me. So just seeing that get, like, amp me up. So we're arguing back and forth. We're going. Rah, rah, you know, and next thing you know, coach called me in the office. Hey, you suspended for 6 games. And this is in high school.
6 games.
And I was like, hey. I'm like, 6 games. I'm like, I'm not suspended for. I didn't even threaten the kids. Why am I suspended for 6 games? I didn't sign no contract with you. He was like, we can't have this. He said, Kyle, you know, you the man right now. Like, I'm suspending you. Go back on Twitter, delete all the messages. Because if these start getting out to these coaches, you're going to start losing a lot of opportunities. And Coach Bechtel, he talked to me so much like, you can't do things like that. Especially now, I got to give you this paperwork to fill out. I'm like, what is it? He's like, read it carefully. Because now you're going through the NCAA. So once you start getting an X amount of offers, you have to sign paperwork stating like you don't want rival beef. You can't disrespect nobody. You can't tweet certain things.
I didn't know that.
There's a lot of things like just look at accounts. Like a lot of people put LOL. I hope this player comes here. Just like they're out of surprise or they're wishing for the best. But it's just the inside like alert. That let's say if I knew Odell's going to LA and I already knew the whole LA team and like I already know he's coming, I can't say like, hey, welcome to the team, fam, without him making an announcement before a Bleacher Report. So if I say like, hey, Odell's coming to LA, hands down, they hey,
right,
let's talk. We're gonna talk some chips too, you know. And that lawsuit's not cheap, so it's a lot that goes with going up to that level and that hype, you know. And that's why I tell the high school kids I train, even my college athletes and professional athletes, like just stay off of it. Just stay off of it. Like,
so what are the young kids like now? I mean, you're not that old. You're like 10 years out from high school days, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Are you looking at the kids now and being like, yeah, man? What you told me a couple stories about parents that bring their kids to you, and it's a whole different thing because you know it's kind of like even when you know I mean. Coaches back in the day would be able to grab your jersey, sit on, you know, get over here, da 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 da. It gets a little weird now, especially with social media and videos and stuff, where you can't even yell at a kid and stuff like that. And now the kids are a little soft.
It's not soft. It's about coaches favoriting kids that's not giving other kids opportunities. All kids could play a sport,
but you don't think that because of social media, because of these things. You know, that they can see that they're saying, hey, you know what I mean? Like coaches kind of back off there because they're not like we used to see. Right? I play a little basketball, you know, high school basketball. And there would be times when the coach would be all in your face during the game in front of whoever, you know, parents, everybody. Now it's like, and I'm not saying in a disrespectful way. But in a way of, let's go. What are you doing out there, man? You ain't doing the right thing. And you know, there is coaches that go over the top, but now with this whole social media thing, you really can't, you know, say anything because then you get put on blast, it goes viral, and then you're done.
And just a lot of coaches favorite the wrong kids, and they feed into the parents' dream. Like, my son's going to the NFL. My son or daughter's going to play for LA Galaxy or, go to MLB. So, no, that coach is like, okay, that's all. I want him. They can play. They got the training for it. This is it. I want that kid. But minus you got 12 other kids, 20 other kids that could be a little bit better, but you're not coaching. You're just focused on that one kid. You just want recognition as a coach, but you're doing it in the wrong ways. Like Coach Snoop, honestly, he was the most respectful, humblest coach. Because you know why? Everybody could play. It wasn't just one person. It was much more of, we got kids that could play. And who's going to be a dog and who's going to fight, I'm going to let you play. I don't care if you short, tall, fat, round, slim, anorexic. You're going to get out there, you're going to play, you're going to hustle. And he just looked at who had the biggest heart. At the time, we had a kid named Manchild, and he went to Upland High School at 2013. And he was a big kid. I mean, at 11, he was like, what? Kid was big. He was big. Like, I was just like, oh, shit. How old is he? Like 11. I was like, he's 14. He has to be. He was probably out. His height at, 11? He was already 5'10", creeping on 5'11", 6 foot. But that's why we called him man. But he was the youngest kid. The youngest. But he could hit.
Yeah, there's those kids out there like that. I had the original man-child here on the podcast, Shay Cotton. Back in my day, Shay was like, I mean, he went up against Paul Pierce. He won up Kobe in high school. I mean, and he came here, man. So you look at Shay and like, man, he was like 12, 13 years old playing against high school dudes, man.
I feel like me playing in high school, I was like, going into summer, because I look more towards summer practices and passing leagues, like playing with Adoree Jackson, Juju Smith, Khalil Dorsey. He was like the little brother of the team, but he made it to the league. And, Dante Dion, Jamal Williams, like a lot of big-known players, just playing with them, it just pushes you to be even better.
Right. Do you think these parents need to just kind of like get out of the way and let the trainer, let the coach do their thing? I mean, having a personal trainer for a kid, it can get expensive, right? And a coach that is detailed on this kid to get him better. But sometimes parents think they either know a bit more than the coach, or they're worried about the kid's feelings a little bit too much, or they want to be like right there and watch you train or coach this kid.
I think parents just got to let the trainers be the trainers and the parent the parent. I know parents have that side talk like, you need to do this better. Like, this is what you're paying me for, okay? Like, I need you to take your 10 to a 2 and go outside, go for a walk.
Can you go wait in the car?
Yeah, go wait in the car, man. Like,
just stay out of it.
Parents just want to jump the gun because they want their son there. It takes time. It takes time. Like, you got to master one thing before you think about the other thing. You got to master your footwork before you think about routes. You got to master your hand-eye coordination before you think about catching. And then you got to make it consistent. But then you got to be in awkward positions to make bigger plays. So parents don't understand that. Why are you making my son do this? Or why are you making my daughter run like that? And I was like, look, trust me, your daughter has to get faster. This is why we have to run these hills. Your son has to lay on the ground to catch the ball because he might fall and the ball's still in the air. You never know what position you're going to be in. Like, even bear crawling. Bear crawls back in the day. There's nobody like bear crawls and burpees.
Yeah.
That's over.
Yeah.
That's over. Like, I still don't like burpees, but I have to do them.
Bear crawls just kill me.
Oh, it'll kill you. If I did a bear crawl right now, I swear to God, I'll probably just lay out.
We're going to do it tomorrow.
Who is we?
Us, the gym.
Us.
Do some bear crawls.
I like how you just signed a contract without even pulling out a pen and paper. God damn.
I signed you up already, man.
I know, man. Hey, tomorrow we're going to do some burpees and bear crawls.
I forgot to tell you, I won't be there tomorrow.
I'm going to say,
Saturday,
Frank,
I'll be there.
You ready,
Frank can do the bear crawls.
Oh, yeah, but no. Honestly, just me as a young man, as an individual, I just come with a lot more hunger and passion.
I think the heart attack, man, when you talk about that, I think I could see where your whole perspective on life changed and why you're so happy at 4 a.m. the straight up, I mean, I follow you on the gram, of course. 4 a.m., you're hype, and you leave at 9 o'clock from the gym.
Yes, sir.
PM, and you're hype.
All day.
So that motivation of, almost losing your life.
it's a second chance. You could reset a video game, you could replay a movie, but you can't replay your life. And I feel like with me, this is like my second chance at life. And I got to live the best of it. I can't look too far. There's bigger things I want, but I can't look too far. I just got to keep working to get there and keep working, putting my head down and sacrificing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do the little things, you know, make sure my family's good, make sure everybody's eating, or even people I call like my family, like Justin, Amanda, and them. I make sure they're doing good in their industry, but I just make sure I'm growing as an individual and I'm not stressing about nothing. Like, I just live stress-free. Like, there's times people will tell me their problems. I'm like, you're just tripping. Like, you got to live stress-free. It doesn't bother you. Words are words, but if an action's an action, then you take that consequence. But if it's not bothering your word, who cares? Just brush it off. You can't brush it under the mat, then you got a problem.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things we stress out, and it's not worth it. Number one, because we can't control it. A lot of times we can't control a lot of the stuff that happens to us. I can't control that dude that cut me off on the freeway. I can control my reaction, right? So I think a lot of people get mixed up in, you can control your action. You can't control what people do to you, but I can control my reaction also. And I think that's the thing, is the reaction. Because in life, I think things are going to happen. And for some reason, we think like, I'm sure you thought, I'll never have a heart attack. Or I thought, this is never going to happen to me. Or this person never going to die. You don't think like that. You just think like, well, this is life, is good. But I think once you have a few little trials in your life and a few hurts, a few disappointments, a few casualties there, I think you realize like, well, that's not really nothing to stress out about,
See, and I agree with you on that one. Like, everybody has that road rage and just wants to go hoo-hoo hurrah when something goes bad, but you gotta let it go. Just because that person's having a bad moment or bad couple of minutes, you don't make it a bad day. Somebody cut you off, forget it. God got them and karma got them. That's it. Like, that's the motto you have to live by, especially in this day and age, because somebody won't fight you. They'll pull out that weapon.
Right.
It's not going to be a fair fight. Everybody talks about, I won't fight you, I'll shoot you. Like, damn, for real? That's why, I defuse fights, because if I already almost lost my life the first time, I'll be damned to lose my life the second time and not be having a guaranteed third time because of a road rage or somebody cut me off. I'll just be like, there's times I'm driving, I'm cruising, people get all mad. Like, where are you going? You still got to sit in an hour worth of traffic going up the hill. Like, come on now, calm down.
There's nothing we can do.
There's nothing we could do. We're still riding bumper to bumper. You want to keep flipping me off like you're the big man. Like, we step out these cars, I'm going to just wave at you and I'm tell you, hey, is everything okay? Like, man, you need a Snickers, you need a moment or something? Like, I got you. But there's things a lot of people have to work on. I feel like our world's so messed up that people don't know what to do in life. And by me saying that, meaning they're telling their kids, like, you need to believe in this when they have road rage. Or you need to do this when they don't even want to go to work. You can't have 2 and 2. It's either like, hey, son, you need to get your stuff together. And now your son sees, like, my dad's gone at 4 a.m., back at 9. Like, that's how I want to be. Or my dad gives me my Saturdays and Sundays. Like, you got to dedicate that time. Right. Make it a priority. A lot of people don't make things priorities, like especially family time, going out on dates. Like, how many times have you seen people go out on dates or just take their families out? I mean, I know you still do it because, you tell me, like, man, I took the family out, man, I'm feeling good. I'm like, yeah, that's good. You need to. You need to have times like that.
You gotta enjoy life a little bit, man. I always tell people that, during the good times, enjoy it. Because it's going to be those good times that you enjoy that are going to get you through the bad times.
Oh. I just feel like what you just said is honestly very true. Because if you can't enjoy those times, other people don't know what those times are. Me as a parent, the day that I come a dad and a husband and all that, I'm going to just show my kid, like, what it's like to actually work for what you want. Instead of handing them that switch and a phone and, here, son, watch this phone. No, it's like, hey, we're at dinner. Everybody's phone in mom's purse. Let's have a conversation. Let's be here. Like, even some of my clients and some of my younger clients, like, all right, we got 4 sets, 2-second pause, 15 reps, hack squat.
I think you described my sister Dell. You know what I mean?
No, she's been working.
My sister Dell trains with Kyle now.
Oh, no.
Hey, but props to you because she had another trainer, and she said that it didn't fit, and she like most people in the gym, they gravitate to you because there's that positivity, because there's a little aura about you, and people want to work out with you.
It's the knowledge that you know and the person that you are. You got to carry yourself like, I mean, have the humbleness, but don't carry yourself like, oh, I'm the best motherfucker up in here. This is it. You look at me differently. I ain't telling you shit. Like, I'm a helpful person. Like, there's times like we could be trained. I'm like, hey, man, make sure he keeps his chest up on chest press. Don't arch that back so he puts all that tension. Make sure everything's aligned straight up and down, but you want to have him feel that focus on that chest. Like, there's things that bother me that other trainers see and they're like, look at him. Like, his client's doing that wrong. Well, help him out.
Right.
Let him elevate his game because there's something he know that you don't know. And he can help you elevate your game. Now you both successful. Everybody's eating collard greens and mac and cheese. Like, everybody wants to be so stubborn and just be so damn negative. And I don't like that girl because she looked at me dirty. Maybe she wasn't even looking at you. There's times people zone out and I'll be like, hey, what's up, man? Y'all good? And they were like, oh, what's up? How you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm chilling. And they're, oh, okay. No. What's your name? Oh, I'm Kyle, man. Oh, nice to meet you, Edgar. Okay. My dog. You looking good, man. Like, people don't carry themselves like that. Like, back in the old days, you can go on your front line.
It was common.
And it's like, hey, how you doing, neighbor? I'm good. How you doing, man?
Yeah.
You look good. Your grass look good. I've been watering it a little more. Well, put them chia seeds in there and they'll grow. Like, they'll give you the tips. Now it's like I'm not helping you with shit.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you nothing. Like, you want me to help you change your brakes, you're going to pay me.
See, I think you've given me hope for this generation, man. I'm sounding like an old dude. The funny thing the other day.
Justin. Shout out to Justin.
Shout out to Justin, man. He's cool, man. Boy's in shape. We're working out, right? So I'm gonna sound old right now. So we're working out, hitting it. I feel good. I'm like, man, I hung in there today. Cool. Justin gets his bag. All right, OG. I'm like, oh, snap. That's me. I'm the OG now. So, but I think the good thing, man, is that what I liked, man, and I think you've given me hope for this generation. The positivity, the outlook and perspective on life that can get lost very easy in this phone thing, man, and this social media stuff, right? I mean, that stuff can get lost really fast. But I think give me some hope, man, for this generation.
I hope I gave you a lot of hope for this generation.
And for some young people out there that are listening, because I think a lot of people, they kind of knock me sometimes. They say, man, you need some young people. And I try to get some young people in here, but a lot of young people, not to knock the young people out there.
Cam
be putting in that work. I had but I think a lot of people need to like
lighten up.
Let young people like really realize like you have the world at your feet, and we talk about this a lot. Where you're constantly, I can get that client, I can do this. I mean, you're working on some big things right now. I don't know if you want to talk about. We'll hold off on that, right?
Franchise, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah, you're talking about franchise, some stuff that they can, sign up for, different things, man. I mean, and so when I think about that, I'm like, okay, there is some hope for this generation. There is some young dudes that are thinking way beyond their years, I should say.
Yes, sir. I just think about the future, but not too far ahead. I think about what I can build. I could be the face of anything, but if I don't have the team, it's not even just about me now. It's about having that right team. Like, I have the people, and I have the people that been there when I was laying in the hospital, and just being there laying down and looking up, I already know I have the team to be successful. Even having you here and then you having me, that could be even more value to the team. And if I'm going to do good, then everything's going to do good. It's just like Nike. It's just like Amazon, Bill Gates. It's like Nipsey Hussle. You got to put all that together. Without that team, that face isn't there. There's no Amazon. There's no Windows, there's no iTunes and Apple. Without those faces and that team, you could do anything you want. But if you don't have a solid team and people were like, hey, you're taking too many vacations. I need you here at work because we got X, Y, Z going on. We don't have these answers. You have the answers. Well, tell them to email. No, I need you here. Like, I need you here right now at work. All right, I'm on my way.
That's it.
So that's why, like, I'm working so hard because the team I'm building and the team I have, like, once it's done, it's set in stone, it's going to start putting people out of business. Like, that's the mindset. But you got to keep hustling. You got to keep grinding. But the team has the same mindset as you. That's even better.
Get the right people around you.
That's it.
Get the right people around you.
Because now we can all game plan. I can see one thing, but they might see something that's going to add a lot more value to something. Or even you see something, you can add a lot more value to something. So now it's just going to be booming. It's going to go up. And if I'm up and we're all up, we're not going to be like, well, that's Kyle. You know, he used to do good. He trained me, and that was it. It's not even working like that. You know, it's more about like hey, we got this done together. And I've seen him hustle. I was there every step of the way, and I'll tell you that man could work.
I think that's the biggest thing with me, man. That's why I invited you to the cast, because I was like, this dude's a hustler, man. He's a young dude. He's there at 4 a.m., leaves at 9. I mean, every client, I mean, you people gravitate, man, and I think you're doing a good thing, man.
Yes, sir.
I know you got to get going because I know you got a client right now you got to get to.
Yeah, 5:15. So I kind of told her, like, hey, I'm stuck in traffic.
Yeah. Hey, don't lie to your clients, man.
Well, I am stuck in traffic, man, because, 5 o'clock down that foothill is going to be some traffic.
I'll tell you a shortcut that you can do. I'll tell you a shortcut you can do.
Man, I need all shortcuts.
I got you a shortcut.
In 5 minutes.
I got you. Really quick, man. I appreciate you coming out, first of all.
I appreciate you guys.
Me and Cam do a little thing at the end right here, man. We do a quick, what we call the Furious 5, man. And we ask you 5 furious questions here.
Okay, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
All right? So this is Street Gospel Furious 5 with Run That. Here we go. If you could eat bad food every day and not be overweight or unhealthy, what would that bad food be?
Okay, hold on. Bad food referring to what? Like anything?
Anything.
Oh, Papa John's for sure.
Every day?
Every day. Barbecue chicken pizza.
Papa John. Wait a minute, man. Papa John.
Hey, okay, matter of fact, not Papa John's. I'm either going bad food.
Bad food. It every day.
See, because now, all right, forget Papa John's. It's either Donahue's or Roscoe's. I'm sorry.
Ooh, Donahue's in. I've never been there in Pomona. My boy goes there, man.
God, like
that's like a staple.
The chicken, the wedge fry. Okay, come on.
I'm gonna try it.
Hey,
I'm gonna try it.
For the low, your family be happy.
You gonna give me one cheat meal a day?
Saturday, that's it.
Hey, remember we were talking about people out there talking about cheat days. It's not a cheat day. What is it?
It's just cheat meal.
Cheat meal,
you
man.
You get one meal out that day, so make it wise. Choose it wisely.
Yeah, people are like, I have a cheat day. Man, that's 3 bad meals in one day. That'll set you back.
Alone.
Right?
That's like one person giving up alcohol for 6 months and going to have 13 shots and also relapse. Now that's it.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I had a cheat alcohol day. It doesn't work. Question number 2. Is there a particular music that people work out better to?
Okay, I can't speak for people. I can speak for myself.
Come on, man. You'd be training all kinds of people, though. Is there a particular music that people work out better to?
There is. There's definitely a particular. Honestly, more towards like a pump, up going kind of beat. Like if you got Forever by Drake or you got Nipsey Hussle playing or you got some West Coast in there, they're going to get going.
I'm not going to lie, man. Today you had Nipsey going all morning.
Because I was feeling Nip, man.
And I was doing good today, man. I was feeling good.
That's why you was in the zone.
There is some music that would get you in the zone. I'm still trying to find the music for Frank. You know what I mean? So we're gonna talk to Frank and see what music Frank really needs.
They need to drop me a request.
I know. We need to tell Frank, bring your playlist tomorrow.
That's it.
It might be John Mayer or something, man. I don't know. It might be something, but we're gonna. But there is. Oh, some young. What he might surprise us, right? He might surprise us. He come in with some young jock and some Gucci, man. You know what I mean? Be like, Frank, this is your playlist. Question number 3. If they made a movie about you, what would the title of the movie be?
Hustle Hard.
Hustle Hard. There we go.
That'll be the title of the movie. Just
starring who?
Starring Kyle Curry.
No, who's playing you? Somebody got to play you.
Oh, I would like Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. That's
that
everybody's go-to. Idris Elba or Michael B. Jordan for every brother out there.
He got to star me, man. He got to make me look good. A little skinny anorexic kid and growing up.
All right.
But
yeah, he can play a young dude and an older dude. I mean, he got that look.
I just got to find somebody that can play my mom because that's a tough cookie to crack.
Okay. What about Angela Bassett? She's rougher than that?
She's rough.
Okay.
My mom almost like a military sergeant.
Oh, okay.
She's rough. Like when she talked to you, she'd be like,
she give you that look, it's over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get the smile from my dad. Like he smiles all the time. But my mom is like,
yeah, she don't play.
Are you done yet? Okay. Let's go. I'm like, okay, I'm coming, Mom.
Question number 4 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. Secret hobby or something you're passionate about that nobody knows about?
Fishing.
Kyle the fisherman.
I love fishing. I'm sorry, man.
Sea, river, lake, what? Pond?
Lake.
Lake.
I'm more of a lake fisherman. I do go deep sea fishing, but lake.
Do you catch the fish, clean it and everything, get it ready and everything, cook it?
Only trout.
Only trout.
Because that's probably like the cleanest fish I'm going to eat. But catfish, bass, other fish.
You just catch for fun.
I just catch and release. But trout, when it comes to that, it's just like a little bit more exciting. It's colder during the winter time when you catch that trout. But when you start seeing how big they get, if you catch a trout, that's about almost 9-10 pounds. You're going to be like, shh. And then you got to grab it and take the hook out. That's what makes it exciting.
Kyle the fisherman.
Fishing is my thing.
It's your thing, man. It's good. I think everybody should have a hobby outside of the realm.
Try fishing. Matter of fact, we will go fishing. Me, you, and Cam. We're
Okay.
going to go out and go fishing.
Don't get mad if I start, reeling them in.
I'm going to take my dad.
You know what I mean?
He'll get out there and it's so quiet. We just
chill, huh?
got one. Yeah, here we go.
It's been a minute since I went fishing, man. But I enjoy it.
It's fun, man. It's relaxing. Honestly, like when I get out there, I just free my mind. Yeah. Like, even though the lake could be so big and you're just looking around, as big as that lake, it should be as big as your mindset. You're not holding nothing in.
Question number 5, last one on the Street Gospel Furious 5. What would the Kyle in wait. What would this Kyle tell the Kyle in high school? Freshman Kyle in high school.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot he would tell him. First things first, don't try to be a class clown and entertain and be that kind of person that you're not trying to be or pursue and carry yourself the way you're not trying to carry yourself for later down the road. You don't need a lot of friends to be successful.
That's good. That's some good advice, especially for a lot of kids out there nowadays.
You don't, especially when you start doing better, you start to realize who has their hands out. And you're so young, like your parents tell you, like, no, that's my best friend. Like, he got me until the day I die, Mom. Like, Billy gonna jump off the cliff if I jump. Billy not jumping off no cliff for you. I had a bunch of Billies.
He's probably gonna push you, but hey,
he gonna push you. But as soon as you land something big, he gonna be there,
right?
But if you don't, Billy walking the other way to find something else bigger. So honestly, if I could talk to myself my freshman year in high school, don't try to be nothing that you're not trying to carry yourself with. Just be yourself.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, man, came out here, did your thing. I better let you go, but anything you want to shout out, man?
I want to shout out Nick Reese. You know, he's fighting cancer and everything. I know that's a big thing for him. Stage 4 cancer. He has 2 more chemos left, but that's been another motivation in my life. And shout out to Dave and Cam, Ashley and everybody. And everybody I train, that's a big shout out and a pleasure. It's a blessing.
Where can they find you at, man?
6 Cents in Ontario, right next to Ontario Mills. Go ahead and DM me at Rundat K Curry, RUNDAT K Curry 02. If you have any questions or you want to start personal training, go ahead and DM me.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yo, that'll conclude this episode of the Street Gospel Podcast with Kyle Curry. Check him out. Definitely, man. DM him, ask him questions, man. If you're in the area, go check him out. Book a session with him, man. He'll tell you everything you're doing wrong and tell you your technique's off, and he'll make you better.
First one leg day.
We out.